Have you ever had that thing where you're walking down some stairs and you think there's another step, but there isn't, and you kind of just get like a bit of a jolt and a shock? Well, that's because our brains are always trying to predict the future. We're programmed as a survival technique to do that. So historically, we needed to preempt any danger in order to avoid it and to work out where our next meal was coming from. So our brains are still doing the same thing today, but of course, instead of this instinct focusing on danger or food for survival, they do it for the things that help us survive each day as a modern day student, like surviving that maths exam or getting through that English essay unscathed. And this is one of the reasons why students sometimes end up misreading a question or misinterpreting an essay title or the focus of an inquiry project. Our brains are looking for and trying to create patterns or systems of recognition. And so for anything that looks similar in any way to something that we've seen or practiced before, our brains will apply that previous experience to that new situation. Because our brains want us to be able to quickly make sense of any new situation, especially when we're under stress. So when it comes to exams and assessments, this of course can be a little bit detrimental if students aren't ready and able to dissect the wording with fresh, non-caveman eyes, so to speak. Because if they've done practice questions in revision or written an essay in class on a specific topic, then chances are when they see anything that's similar in a question that comes up in the real exam, even if any of them are worded a little bit differently, their brains will naturally try to make this new question or new essay title fit the previous one, to be able to sort of continue that pattern or make something new a little more familiar and keep things safe. But the danger of this, of course, is that students may then interpret that question incorrectly or even misread it altogether, or they might miss the real focus of the essay title and the level of response required. So although they'll write accurately about the topic, they won't necessarily have the appropriate level of discussion or structure in their final answer in their writing. And this is one reason why students sometimes have that experience of feeling like they've written a great response, but the result isn't what they hoped for. Now, of course, this isn't to say that students shouldn't practice example or past exam questions. That is a great way to revise and prep for exams. And it certainly isn't an excuse that's going to get them out of writing that English essay either. But it is a reason to be aware of why students need to learn and practice and hone their skills in dissecting every exam question for the specific command and the demand of that question, and become really skilled in things like identifying the topic and focus of any title or question in an essay, so that they don't fall into that pattern of recognition and prediction that our brains have so cleverly designed us for. And in this case, unfortunately, doesn't necessarily work out so well for us. So this skill of dissecting the question, identifying command words, and knowing exactly how to respond to them is just one of the 3 secrets I'm revealing in my online Term 1 Parent Information event. So if you'd like to grab the essential insider dissection skills for your teen, then be sure to register for it. It's completely free. I'll include the link with this blog, and if you're on my email list, then you'll have it in your inbox too. But just quick heads up, this Term 1 event is for 1 week only and spaces at each session are limited, so be sure to register now. I'm Katie Price, Grade Transformation Expert, and let me know in the comments, have you ever read something and read what you thought it said or was going to say only to realize that you kind of made a mistake somewhere along the line and it was a little bit different? Has your teen ever misread an exam question? If this situation does resonate with you or your teen, then give this blog post a like or a share, and of course, go register for that Term 1 info event. Until next week, let's make this a fantastic week.